Hi, my name is Sarah Leschtyler. I made this video about the informal assessment technique called Misconception Preconception Check for the PIDP 3230 class I'm currently taking. Unless otherwise stated, all of the information presented in this video is from the Classroom Assessment Techniques textbook by Angelo and Cross. This misconception preconception checking technique is one of the ways instructors can gather information about the knowledge students are bringing to the classroom with them. This short questionnaire tool is a little bit different from some of the other previous knowledge assessment tools, like the background knowledge probe, because this one uncovers knowledge or beliefs that may create barriers for learning. Instructors then have the opportunity to adapt lesson plans and more successfully develop discussions when they're aware of these preconceived ideas. The process. It's important for the person developing this tool to first identify a list of common misconceptions about whatever the topic is. Generating ideas with others will be a valuable part of this. Then choose the most problematic of the list, I would say the top 3 to 5, to develop your questionnaire with. When I say problematic, I mean which of these ideas will hinder student learning the most. Using your top 3 to 5 most problematic ideas, you'll now create questions and a scale for students to answer them. Some examples you could choose from are a Likert scale, multiple choice, or short answer. You're going to choose the type of scale based on what your goals are. Short answer questions can often lead to the most original and valuable information, but unless you create your questionnaire online, it's challenging to have the answers remain anonymous. Likert scales are best to use if you want to measure how strongly the group feels about an idea. Once you've developed a draft questionnaire, have another faculty member or somebody else that knows the topic really well go over it for you. You'll want them to screen the language to ensure it doesn't sound too condescending or obvious for the student. Make the adjustments you feel are necessary and then answer the questionnaire yourself. Think through some of the potential responses. What are the outcomes going to be? Think of the worst possible and the best possible and everything in between. Be sure that you're prepared to tackle any random ideas that come out of this assessment. If you're not, make more changes. Make the questions and the scales more focused to gather the information that you are prepared to deal with. Finally, explain to the students why you're using this classroom assessment technique. Ensure to them that their responses are 100% anonymous and that you value their honest feedback. Let the students know when and how you'll respond to the results. This classroom assessment technique is best used anytime new information or interpretations are presented. It can be implemented at the beginning of a course or within the course when introducing a new topic. Topics closely linked to the lives of students are often more sensitive and controversial. These kinds of topics, like health or politics, are the ones that students often have prior knowledge or opinions of. As stated in Angelo and Cross, naive or incorrect beliefs can act like a filter, allowing disconnected facts and principles through, but blocking out a deeper understanding of method or worldview. It's extremely helpful for the instructor to identify those beliefs early on. Of course, every good system has limitations. This assessment technique is no exception. In my experience, and according to Angelo and Cross, most people don't enjoy having their beliefs questioned. Unlearning information that you have believed to be true can be really challenging and even scary or painful for some people. The last, but definitely not the least, limitation associated with this technique is time. Change takes time. So challenging a belief or value system and then integrating new knowledge into it will take a lot more time than one semester or course. Some advantages to the misconception preconception check are as follows. It's a quick way to uncover barriers to learning. It's anonymous, so results are more likely to reveal true opinions and thoughts. It's reassurance. For students, knowing that they're not alone in their thinking can help keep an open mind. This exercise can also help to develop a student's self-awareness and help them to gain control over their own thinking. Some best practices to consider are to keep it anonymous. It's really important that students feel safe to answer the questions thoughtfully and honestly. Explain the rationale. Students need to know why they are being asked to fill in something, to take their time to fill in something. How is it going to benefit them? And finally, tread lightly until there's a foundational level of trust in the classroom. It's best not to dive into too sensitive of a topic until students get to know each other. There's some sort of trust built in the classroom. There's one adaptation that can be used for more sensitive topics or earlier on in the course. You could begin by asking students to identify common misperceptions or misconceptions that they think other people have about the topic or field. This will open the floor and sort of break the ice and allow students to discuss things without attaching their personal opinion to it. Feedback. Instructor feedback is so important for learners. As Debbie Morrison said in her article titled Online Learning Insights, students want feedback. They need feedback as guidance for their next steps. Feedback helps students to assess their own learning. And as an instructor, analyzing the results of the questionnaire and then sharing them along with your intended actions or changes to the course delivery is the last step of the process. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you learned something new about classroom assessment techniques and especially about the misconception preconception check.